What's up, people? Guess what? Yes, I know. It's about damn time, Muggy. Give us a lowdown. Give us a smackdown. Let's lay the smackdown, Muggy. Okay? The Muggy's got 2 words for you. Okay? If you ain't down with what I'm gonna throw down, I got 2 words for you. Suck it. I'm just playing. What's up, people? Welcome all Muggy Maniacs, Chuggy Maniacs, Buggy Maniacs, Monster Truck Maniacs. Yeah, you know, even though it is rookie shit, headaches, all that, you know, it's still nitro. As long as it's not Traxxas nitro, because that doesn't even qualify as even nitro. Let's just keep it real here, like I always do. Traxxas nitro is not real. Anything that has a fucking E word connected to start it, excuse my language. Oh, first off, before we get into this, Muggy's fired up right now. A lot of shit's going on. We're gonna get brapping. This is one of probably 2, possibly 3 videos that I'm gonna just force feed you guys in the next by the end of, see, it's Saturday afternoon, by tomorrow night. Okay, we're gonna do this is a kind of a preliminary, I should say, video of what's going on with the Muggy, where he's at, what he's working on, what he has in the works, get you up to speed. Then we're gonna do, you know, obviously we got to do, you know, my favorite one. I don't want to say my favorite, but this is where all the hard work that if you put in hard work, shows, and that means that I'm gonna do a brap session. Okay, beautiful weather this weekend, Southern California. I apologize if you guys, or I don't apologize, I'm sorry if you guys are back east and your weather still sucks ass. Some guys are either sweating their nuts off, or they're, you know, freezing their nuts off. One of the two. We're spoiled. You know, it's 75 maybe out today, cool breeze. Man, I don't know if I want to do some brapping or if I want to do some head to the beach and check out the beach babes. You know, because I am an OC. Huntington Beach is right 20 minutes from me. Newport Beach right there. So, you know, that's the perks of living in Southern California. You know, everybody chooses to live where they want. Some of them don't, but most of them do. Hey, you know what I mean? We complain when we get a little bit of rain, but we got a lot of rain this year. We're just spoiled, and it is what it is. But I do appreciate every opportunity that we have nice weather like this, and you know, it does get a little warm. Gotta remember, we're not used to anything more than 100. You guys are like, damn, man, it's 100 in the shade, you know, if you're in Texas. And you know, don't get me wrong, I've been in all that weather. I've been in South Texas, summertime, wintertime. You guys never know Woogie knows what I'm talking about. Couple guys might. That shit's nasty, man. I spent 8 years in San Antonio. So, I know what the weather's like. And, man, I love it. This is why I live here in Southern California. You just can't beat it. Okay? Babes, beach, brapping. The 3 B's that I love. Babes, beach, brapping. You know, not in that order, but, well, you know. You guys know what I'm throwing down. So, anyway, yeah, we're gonna get into some meat and potatoes here. There's a lot of shit going on. Might be a little swear festival here because Muggy is just fired up. Okay, fired up for a lot of different reasons. Okay, also welcome 5th scale insaniacs, because I know there's a 5th scale guys. Those guys are insane. You know, I unsubscribed to that UK Max guy, the guy from wherever he's from in the UK, because he does good 5th scale videos. Never of his, mostly of his friends that have some killer shit. Modded 50 cc's, Barlow pipes, you know, 50 RC Max, 90C, crazy shit. And then he'll throw in his fucking teabag, X-Max bullshit. Or he'll throw in some guy. Now, this is what really makes me sick. You think it's one thing when you see something, you know, like a beautiful piece of machinery like this sick-ass Techno NT 48.3, all, how do they say it in the South, Southern guys? All hussied up. I mean, she's looking fresh. By the way, getting crazy, remember I told you on the carbon fiber? Well, sometimes where your body pins go on the post, this shit gets worn in. So this was all getting worn. So Muggy Maniac got a little creative, you know, threw some carbon fiber on there. I think I'm going to do the same in this front piece. Because, you know, if you can, now you can see closely that my paint job wasn't the best. Hey, I didn't say I was a professional. So I'm going to take all this black part right here and I'm going to carbon fiber wrap it. And I might go up the sides maybe. I don't know yet. I might just do part of it. I don't know. I got tons of that shit. Like I said, I told you guys you can get 6 feet long of that shit, a roll of it by 4 feet wide for like less than 20 bucks. You know, and it's worth it. You know, it doesn't hold up forever, but it looks pretty sick. And the trick is, when you put it, before you put it on or after you put it on, especially after you put it on, heat gun. Not too much, don't melt the shit. A little heat on it, and then press it in, it sticks a hell of a lot better, man. I got better, I wasn't doing that before, and shit was coming off. And I was like, oh, screw it, I got tons of it, right? But I was like, this is getting, like, crazy. I'm constantly, every time I run my shit, it's peeling off. As soon as I started heating it up when I put it on, man, that shit doesn't come off anymore. So, and you guys know I did the Mugen. You know, the carbon fiber on that. But anyway, what I was talking about, it's one thing when you take one of these sick-ass whips, okay, or a buggy, or even XTM, I've seen that too, and you convert them to electric. That shit makes me sick, makes me mad, a lot of different mixed emotions. How about you go watch that RC UK Max, and some of you guys might have already seen it, taking a fifth scale, a low C5T, or a 5B, and converting that shit into electric. Now that just makes me want to just, you know, there ought to be a death penalty for that in some states or whatever. That ought to be punishable by death. Like, I don't mean that literally, but you know what I'm saying? That's just retarded. And he's had videos like that. Oh, look at this low C5T converted to electric. Why? Why would you do that? Damn. These people and their electric, man, it just comes down to laziness. So anyway, shout out to all you guys. We're going to get some shout-outs, and I needed to do this. It's called my shout-outs and my shout-ats. So if you're in the shout-outs, that's great, okay? If you're in the shout-outs, it doesn't really mean that you're like on the shit list or suck list for the Muggy Maniac, but you're just on the shout-out list, which means I got to shout at you and say, hey. I mean, if you notice that I put in hyphens right there, or I underlined it actually, shout-outs, WTF, which means what the fuck? Like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, this is what I've seen in the last, what, how long since I did a video? A week? Almost 2 weeks? Whatever. I see a lot of guys that take the information that you give them, okay, and they put their own twist on it. Like, that's not what I told you to do. And then they want to point fingers and say that it's somebody else's fault, when the fact of the matter is, you were told specific how to do something, and you put your own 2 cents, or did it your own way, which doesn't make any sense. Why in the, excuse my language, why in the fuck would you even ask somebody, you know, how do you do this, how do you do that? I mean, and then do it another way, because you're ignorant, because you're stubborn. I mean, it's probably a combination of all those things. And trust me, I can say this because I've done it. Somebody would give me a simple instruction, and I put my own twist on it, and I wonder why I get all fucked up. It's not what they told me. They told me to do it this way for a reason. Yet, because of my whatever, stupidity or, you know, or my pride or ego or ignorance or stubbornness, I try to do shit my own way. And I've done that shit. Trust me. Remember, guys, I'm not a spring chicken. So for all you youngsters that are younger than me, okay, and I'm not afraid to admit my age. I'm 51 years old. Grown-ass man. Okay? I don't live under mom and dad's roof. I'm single, divorced. Kids are in college, doing well. Kids are working, because they're not lazy, because their old man didn't teach them laziness. You know, my daughters every once in a while, and I got to slap them around. Not, you know, literally, but you know what I'm saying? You know, Muggy's got he keeps it real all the way around, family and all. My family knows how I am. I'm not going to, like, shy away from controversy or shy away from speaking my mind or what, you know, how I feel about something. That's why my channel, you guys already know that. I'm not hiding nothing from nobody. I call people how I see it, man. I call people out. And I expect people to do the same to me. I can take criticism. I can dish it out, but I can handle it too. Don't worry about hurting my feelings. Do I like it? Of course not. I wouldn't be human if I said that. But it is what it is. If I keep it real, I got to expect people to keep it real with me and point things out. Hey, Muggy, that wasn't right that you said that, or you just said this and that's not. And as long as it's facts, I have no problem with it. The problem is I get people that make comments and make and rebuttals or whatever on what I'm talking about, or elaborate on something, and it's not even facts. They're talking out their ass. One thing. Another thing, though, it's most of the time it's people that don't even have a YouTube channel, and they can give you whatever excuse. Oh, I have a real life. Oh, I don't have time to do it. But you have time to surf on other people's channel and make stupid comments, and you have no fucking wisdom or knowledge about what the hell you're saying. You're just taking information from somebody else's channel and going and floating around and dropping in on somebody in another person's channel and telling them what you heard on this channel, which probably wasn't accurate in the first place. That's ignorance. Too much of that goes on in 8-scale nitro, and, you know, everything in life, but I notice it in nitro. And, you know, I don't know about 5th scale too much because I watch 5th scale, don't keep up with it. You know, I'm all about 8-scale nitro, not electric, not any E-word, not any crawlers, not any drones, not any, you know, none of that. 8-scale nitro. Stock, big motors, okay. Stock .21s, no bueno. Modified 21s, bueno. Stock .21s, no bueno. Don't do anything for me. Stock Novarossi 28.8 stock, yeah, not bad. Good, great, awesome. Can't, gotta give credit due where credit's due. Awesome. LRP stock, bone stock out of the box. Well, it depends how your porting is. Probably no bueno, because you have to put a fucking Novarossi carb on it if you want it to run right. And that's another thing too. Now I want to point out a few things, and these are to help guys out. It's not throwing guys under the bus, okay? It's helping you out. If I don't say anything to you, I'm hurting you. That's the way I look at it, because you're going to continue to do the same bullshit, and you're never going to learn anything. You're going to get frustrated, and eventually you'll quit and go get a fucking E-word and, you know, another casualty to this hobby. I'm trying to prevent that by giving you my personal experience, what I learned. Who did I learn from? First of all, hey, I'm just watching the guy's videos. Nitro Nerd. I know he watches my, well, I don't know if he does, but I'm sure he does. He likes to float around, jump in, he can't throw in his 2 cents because I don't even subscribe to him. We're not even connected at all. I mean, I think I still am connected to him. Guy knows a lot of shit. Guy knows his shit. Talk shit. Backs it up, though. You know, he's not bringing knives to gunfights. He's bringing fucking heavy artillery. The Nitro Nerd, unless you know what you're doing and you're doing it somewhat right or pretty right, only chance you have. If you try to go toe-to-toe with this guy, I didn't try to do anything. He came woofing at me. He calls it woofing. You know, when you're talking shit, and he doesn't think what you're saying is accurate. Well, my shit isn't down to a science like him, but I know what I'm doing. I learned from him. Mr. Nerd, if you're watching this, I learned from you. Maybe not the exact way you do it, but what I learned a lot from you, as well as other guys. Mr. Bodegel, Adam Drake, you know, guys at Mod Motors, Rick Mod. I mean, all my sources that I get my information from are reputable sources, and these people that I get it from have pedigrees, which means they have a background of knowledge, and they not only talk a game, but they play a game as far as they show you results. They don't just talk about stuff. They show you the results. Rick doesn't just tell you about motors. He mods a motor and says, okay, look at my motor, mod it, run it. What do you think? Thumbs up. I have 3 of his motors modded. Never had a complaint about them. Other guys, well, I've heard other things, but I can't go by what I hear. Like I told one of my brothers I was talking to forever today, which I'm going to give him a shout out in a minute. You know what? I can't control what other people do. I can only control what I do. And that's the way I roll. And that's just in life in general. Okay? I don't go by what I hear. I go by the results that I've got. Like, I've never had a problem with Rick's motors. Until that day, I'm good. But the one day that I do have a problem, it doesn't mean I'm going to hate Rick or, you know, any of that. I just probably won't do business with him. And that's my right. That's how I am. Some people say, oh, well, people make mistakes. And yeah, but I can't afford, when I send you $1,000, you know, with the motors, to mess my motors up. Sure, I'll forgive you. I'm sure he would take care of that if anything ever did happen. God forbid. But the point is the inconvenience. And I don't know if you want to call it pain and suffering, but it is. That's my hard-earned money. You know, that, yeah, you made a mistake. It's messed up. Whatever. Now I gotta have you do it again. I won't do business with that person. That's a deal breaker for me. That's just me. I mean, even when it comes, you guys know how I am when it comes to getting shit shipped. I'll try a company, they ship it, it gets messed up, doesn't come like 2 weeks later than it's supposed to, the wrong thing comes, something, all that shit. That's a deal breaker right from the beginning. There's no, okay, let me try them again, see if they can get, no, there isn't. You know, if it's something that's defective, okay, give me another one, let's try it again, and then boom, I'm done. Like those frickin', I told you about the receivers for the Fly Sky. I got 2 of them, and I tried another one, okay. Oh no, the first one I had went bad. I tried one more, it went bad, and that was it, I'm done. I shouldn't even tried that. I should have tried one more, and that's it. I shouldn't have continued to go, but I was thinking, you know, maybe it's something I'm doing. It's nothing what I was doing. Binding them the right way, everything. This thing had one of them in it. I told you guys before, the NBX7 got away because that receiver fucking, it signaled to the battery that the battery was dead, and the battery wasn't. There was something wrong in the receiver. Okay? And this thing got away fucking into a wall, man. Could have destroyed my Mugen NBX7. It's pretty durable, thank God. Or it might have, an average vehicle, it might have, like a Losi, it would have just wrecked. Okay? These are very durable. My point is, stuff like that, like I'm done. Like I'm not going to put those receivers in my vehicle anymore. The only one that works, like I said, never had a problem with, Fly Sky, and I'm talking about, the radio I'm talking about is the Fly Sky, this right here, the same one that you guys seen Woogie show you, FS-IT4S. This is a great radio, 130 bucks I paid for it out the door. Comes with all these different sensors. I only used the heat one, and that thing didn't even really last that long. It's not an accurate reading. The gauges I learned, I thought they were cool and everything, but they're nothing you really need to concern about. Up to this point, nobody in Nitro over the last 10 years have really banked on using those things. Who cares? You go by, I use a heat gun. If you don't have a temperature gun, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I mean, some of you guys think that you can just get this by osmosis. You can just wing this shit. You can't. Do it the right way. Have you ever seen Mr. Za not use a temp gun? I mean, mostly for breaking in his motors, but you guys see guys out on the field. It's not that I'm you know, I can tell by the way it runs, but I want to see, you know, I want to keep an eye on my shit. Again, it depends. If you're not worried about it because you got money coming out your ass, if your motor blows up, so what? You just throw another one in it. This motor, I can't afford any of my motors to take a shit on me. I already have a, you know, that was hard for me already. That Novarasi, it's still up here because I'm having a hard time finding the crank for it. My poor stock Novarasi, man. I love this motor, man. Man, this motor is a badass stock motor. Never modified. This was my first quality motor. Okay, and when that the front of the crankshaft broke, man, I was upset. Now I'm looking at it like I guess I'm going to use it for parts. It'll rise again, but finding a crank for that, it's hard. Why would I pay $100 and something for a crank for that motor when I can buy a brand new one for almost the same price? I don't see how people even do that shit. That's a whole nother video. Why people would spend $150, $60 on a rod, on a piston and a sleeve and a crank rod, when for another $100 you can get the whole freaking motor. That don't make any sense. But, you know, to each his own. Whatever works for people. So anyway, I get all my information from these guys that I know have... I do what's called a background check. I don't believe what anybody says until I see them run their shit. They can talk a good game, like I heard Nitro Nerd say. People can talk about all this. But that doesn't mean dick. You need to run your shit. Let me see what your talk, if it matches the results of your shit running. I've already proven that. I don't need to prove nobody to that. You guys have seen my shit. Even though I've struggled sometimes, and it's normal, and I'm not perfect at tuning it or getting it tuned. It takes me time sometimes. Sometimes you run into situations. I just keep it real. But at the end of the day, at the end of that BRAP session, like when I BRAP later today and possibly tomorrow, you're going to see the results, the final results of my day tuned, dialed, ripping off high notes, freaking everything. The whip performing, the motor performing, the whole 9 yards. Okay? If not, then do I really know what I'm doing? I question people. And people don't even, they talk all kinds of shit and they don't even have a damn video of anything of theirs running. Ever. Why would you listen to that person? You're an idiot. And you deserve for your shit to get all jacked up or your shit to be wrong, whatever they say. So again, let's emphasize this again. And I'm going to emphasize to you guys. You guys do whatever you want. Don't listen to me. I don't really care. It doesn't matter. I know there's a handful of guys that are. And these are the guys that are up on my shout out list. Okay, shout out. First one is to Lights Out, man. Me and this guy have been talking, like, we talked hours today. Cut into a lot of my time, but that's okay. I got the whole weekend. We're going to brap this weekend. Don't even worry about it. Muggy Maniac's not worried about it. But this guy, man, he's a guy that wants to learn this. He wants to do it the right way. He even said, I'm not going to whine like some of these guys. Give it to me, man. Give it to me straight. Give me the truth. Tell me what's up. Obviously, you got more knowledge and you've got more experience in it. I see your shit run. I see it perform. I see your shit tuned. I see your shit, top-notch shit. Okay, well, show me how to do this. And am I saying I'm the best? I have the best whips and, oh, let me show off my shit? No, I'm just keeping it real. It is what it is. Okay? It's not just all show, no go. These whips get busy. Or the Nitro Nerd would say, these things get funky. Okay, so I'm not worried about somebody challenging me. Just watch my video, my running video, and at the end of that, you can tell me what you think. Does it run okay? Is it tuned all right? Does it hit a high note? Does it get ripping? Does it pull up the front end? Sometimes yeah, sometimes depending what clutch I'm running, what setup I'm running. Okay, yes or no? I think yes. I already know. I don't need to prove shit to nobody. I enjoy my shit so much more because I have less freaking headaches. And I try to tell some of these guys, you know, another shout out to All About Nitro. This kid just, man, I beat my head on against the wall every time I talk to this guy. He's the youngest, stubbornest guy that I know because he's really smart. Okay? You know, I sometimes that you're being too smart. You ever heard the expression, too smart for your own good? He's a perfect example of that. He's a guy that needs to learn the hard way. And there's other older guys the same that need to learn the hard way. Some of us need to learn the hard way. I was once one of those guys too, so I know. But this kid drives me bananas, man, because I'll tell him what to exactly do something, and he'll just try to do it his own way because he thinks he's Mr. Rocket Scientist. But anyway, he's a good kid. Very, very serious about Nitro. Man, he's making an effort. And that's why I give him shout out, props to him. Another guy, I put on underneath it, if you see it where it says All About Nitro, he should change his channel to All About Your Way. Which meaning him. He does it his way, man. Poor kid, man. I'm not giving up on this kid, though. There's plenty of times where I just wanted to just, like, write him off. But, you know, he's a good kid. I know his heart is in the right place. He has to stop being so stubborn, man. And just sometimes you gotta dumbify stuff because people learn better that way. If you try to do and that's the one thing that I didn't like about what the nerd was doing. When you get all scientific and all these fancy words and all the geometrics and all the schematics, and you are gonna lose the average guy that wants to do this. He's gonna scratch his head and say, "What the fuck are you talking about? Can you say that in English? Can I get a translator? I don't need the ology of what you're teaching me. Keep it simple. Keep it basic." That's how I learned from John. I can be like that too, but you're going to lose too many people that way. People aren't going to understand what you're doing. You know, even if you're at that level, you got to, keep it even keel so everybody knows what the hell you're talking about. Another guy, Woogie. Now, let me tell you about this guy, Woogie, and I watched it. The Nerd, if you've seen the Nerd's latest video, he gave it it wasn't a shout out, but he said that he liked what the Woogie was doing. Liked what he was doing. He said he didn't, he said I watched his videos a little bit. And how can you watch somebody's video for 10 seconds and like what they're doing? I don't get that. Like I said, this Nitro Nerd guy, good, a lot of knowledge. A lot of knowledge, knows what he's talking about, knows what he's doing. Every word for word, the guy knows his business, which is Nitro. But his approach now, the way that he is, I don't know what happened. Ever since that Jam Racer and him got into it a while back, he's never been the same. Started doing his Audible videos, started doing all the smoke and mirror bullshit, and he just changed. And that's why a lot of people lost interest. All the guys that I know off this channel, in the back cuts or off YouTube, they tell me all the same thing about RC Nerd. I don't know what the hell this guy's talking about. I don't even watch his videos anymore because they're confusing. We don't need to hear all your smoke and mirrors and your fancy voices and all your fancy, artwork and all that spinning motors and flying art. That's all bullshit. Whack. That's why I call it whack. He will get 2019 Whack Award for the wackest videos I've ever seen. So if he wants to take that as I'm talking shit, so be it. I'm keeping it real. Did I say doesn't know what he's talking about? Did I say he's confused like he tried to tell me? No. Hey, the guy's weird. Well, when a guy puts on an old man's mask and does videos, that's creepy to me, man. Really creepy. So anyway, he gave the Woogie, some props, and I'm thinking to myself, why would you do a video on Amsol? And Woogie, don't take this personal, but who gives a fuck about Amsol? John mostly uses that shit for his fifth skill. Okay? MP is what he uses other than 3-in-1, WD-40 and stuff like that. So, I don't know. It seemed like, and I don't want to, it's not all at Woogie. Guys will think that they need to upload a video. They don't upload a video, and they'll make up shit. I've seen plenty of guys do it. Let me just talk about something that's really is irrelevant to 8-scale nitro. So anyway, but Woogie's a good guy. He's learning. He's growing. He just, again, he's one of those guys where, I try to tell him certain things, and I think he gets crossed and he's trying to take in all the information from all these different people and apply it. You can't do that. Pick and choose. It's going to get confusing. You're going to get all messed up. You know what I mean? Another guy, but Woogie, shout out to him, man. The guy's, he's going for this, okay? Just Joe, man. That guy, awesome. He hooked me up like a tow truck. This guy's cool. He's from New York. He's a Italian guy, paisano. He knows the difference between Italians and rice burners. Some people, I guess, don't. Remember this. Let me tell you one thing. Quality is going to give you less headaches. Unfortunately, in nitro, and I learned this early on, the less money that you spend and try to do it on a shoestring budget, I'm not saying you got to pour tons of money, but if you try to go out this, budget too much, you're going to have more headaches. That's just the way it is. You got to decide, okay, I want less headaches, less frustration, and I want to have more fun. Okay, spend the money then. You need to. It's the only way, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say that, that's how nitro is. You have to spend the money if you don't want all the headaches. The more money you spend on motors, the better quality motors, less headaches, man. I have 0 headaches with this motor. Novarossi 20.0. This motor, I can't say that. It is a lot of work. If you want an LRP .32, get ready to spend $400, including the carburetor, and get it modded if you want the ultimate .32. Even if you want to keep it stock, this motor will cost you $300. Another thing, guys, I try to tell them, and those are the guys that are on my what the fuck, or shout at, Nitro Nerd, I already talked about him, and Whipkey. I already told the Whipkey, just like I know, this was back later, I told, Lights Out, when he kept trying to mess with that the X-Tech carburetor. Come on, how many times I got to tell you people? I tell you that. John tells you that. Other people, you're so persistent. Why don't you take that persistency and put that into fucking maintaining your shit? Take that into wrenching. Take that persistency and put it into other things. Don't waste your time on an X-Tech carburetor. People that tell you, or whoever, and I've had guys tell me that the X-Tech carburetor they've never had a problem with, don't know fucking dick because they've never had a real Nova Rossi carburetor. Nobody I know, and I challenge anybody out there that has ran an X-Tech carburetor and a Nova carburetor, both of them, I have, John has, other people have, Raja has, and you tell me that that X-Tech carburetor is even close to the Nova carburetor. Hell no. People tell you that because they think that that X-Tech carburetor, when they get it what they think is tuned, that's a good tune. That's not you obviously don't know what a well-tuned carburetor sounds like and runs like. Until you run a Nova Rossi 28.8 or any of the Nova Rossi carburetors, okay, the ones that come on here, until you run that carburetor, you don't know what a good tune is. Okay, I don't care if you have an OS. I don't care if you have any motor, even a Reds or a Pico. They're good, decent. OS is decent too. Compared to this Nova Rossi carburetor right here, best carburetor ever made. Period. End of story. Not even a discussion. If you think that there's a better carburetor out there on any motor, you tell me. I've ran them all. There isn't. That is the best carburetor ever made. Always will be, always has been. Most consistent, stays tuned, easy to tune. Man. Less headaches. Okay, so you're going to have to spend $100 if you want that LRP, even if you keep it stock, to run and purr the way it should do. Now, you can put other carburetors on it, and I told you, I put the Kyosho on there, but compared to the Nova Rossi, not even close, man. Trust me. If you never if you've never ran, and there's guys that have 28.8s, unless they just never dial them in, they already know how that Nova Rossi carburetor runs. That thing's badass. If you have a 28.8 Rex Legend, and you have the carburetor that comes on it, and your shit isn't dialed in and doesn't purr and settle down like a kitten, and doesn't scream top end, and just tunes easy and stays tuned, well, you either haven't learned how to tune yet, or there's something wrong with your carburetor, or there's just something wrong with your tuning. One of those three things. No ifs, ands,